Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.
We're back!
Yes! I miss you guys.
Oh.
I miss you too, chat. Oh, man. This feels good. This feels right.
Good. Yeah. It does. It feels good.
Oh, yes.
Dude. I think I started recovering today.
Really? Today?
Today. Yeah.
It took this long, honestly.
It
just kept going.
It was, yeah, because we went to
We had the meetup right afterwards.
Peru, meetup right after it, con. Like
yeah.
I was so tired at the con. Sorry, everybody, but like I got through. Then I went home and went to bed.
Crashed. I just got back from the road trip. I road trip from your house to here today, this morning.
Holy
wow.
crap.
Yeah. But I'm freaking ready because we got so much to talk about. We haven't talked to Adam in a while. After we got back from Peru, we got so much to talk about there. And then Ancient Apocalypse, we'll kind of go over some of the stuff there. Like we were already going into it before the show and we were like, let's just go. So
yeah,
let's go.
I spent today listening to Graham's interview with Joe Rogan, the one before which is a great interview with Trump, which is a great interview. I did that on my like 6 mile walk today. So yeah, there's a lot to go over. We have a ton of footage from Peru, like a ton. So we're trying to collect it. It's going to take a couple of months probably for me to make this video, but it's going to be a huge video. It's going to be huge.
We covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So cool.
But we'll go over what we saw today in comparison to, especially when Ancient Apocalypse premiered and we were at some of the sites that day. The day it premiered.
It was so cool.
Oh, wow.
It was so
insane.
Cool.
That's badass.
Yeah. So what's up, Garrett, man?
What's
I
up?
just saw you yesterday.
It's been so long, man.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. It's good to be here. Can't wait to talk to Adam about all the stuff we saw. And yeah, I'm excited to be back. I love this show.
Look at our boy Smoo is here.
Hi, Smoo.
What's up?
He's a DJ.
He is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spent a lot of time traveling to get over here. So appreciate you, man.
Had him over at my house. It was awesome. We had a little dinner party. It was cool.
Yeah.
We had a little dinner party with somebody last night too.
I saw that. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Gina. So that was cool.
Oh, snaps.
Yeah. Gina kicks ass, dude.
She does.
Yeah. Ryan was drunk.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
You don't even have to say that.
I know. It's just Ryan being Ryan, right?
Being gay and drunk, it's fine.
But Adam, dude, we missed you, man. It was terrible. You didn't miss anything. It was totally awful. It wasn't a boring. It wasn't a life-changing experience seeing the giant megaliths up close and hanging with Michael Collins and tripping all around Peru and not like in the ayahuasca.
What do you mean by tripping all over Peru? Okay.
Literally tripping on our
tripped and fell.
Steps are all they're irregular shapes. So.
We got our steps in Peru.
Oh, dude, yeah, we did
every day. Like I was exhausted.
Yeah,
but then we balanced it with all the food. So we got our steps in, but then we ate a lot of good food. So.
Alpaca is delicious. That is confirmed.
It's so good. Oh my god.
Alpaca is really fucking good.
And the cuy.
Not so good. No.
You didn't have it, Gary.
You can't even speak upon this.
Wait,
okay.
You didn't try it, Gary? I know I saw their pictures.
No,
I saw them eating it.
I had spaghetti.
Is that with the guinea pig? Like like a
no,
red sauce?
No, I had a regular old plate
boring.
of spaghetti.
Shame.
Boring ass.
Specialty down there, Italian food. I wouldn't have thought.
Well, yeah, we found an Irish pub down there. There was a Starbucks.
It was Patty's. It was Patty's Pub.
Inca Bucks was my favorite though. At Ollanta they have an Inca Bucks.
I saw
coffee
that
shop that also offers massages.
Oh,
yeah,
that's an interesting twist.
I don't remember.
Yes, it is. Lots of massage parlors down there.
Yeah, a lot of the women on the street corners going massage.
Yeah,
$5.
$5.
So how was the massage? No. Oh,
I didn't get any.
Sorry. All right.
Inca Bucks at least has a happy ending, unlike Starbucks. So
because of the massages.
I
because
can
of the
see why
massages.
you like going to Inca Bucks, Gary.
Inca Bucks.
Wow.
Inca Bucks. That's where they were selling the fertility giant stone penises.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Oh, okay.
The
All
Chris
right.
Gore statue. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to get what I bought there. I got Garrett something there. You want to show it off?
Well, let me go get it. I have a display.
Go get it.
I
want
bought
to see
Garrett
it.
a gift. I don't know how much of a gift it's going to be. It's made out of what did they say? Peruvian. I mean, they say this. It's probably made out of fucking like
Regular wood.
like
Is it wood or
silicon? No, it's made out of Peruvian jade or something like that.
Oh, that sounds cool.
The problem is, I think there's like correct me if I'm wrong, Garrett, but this gift I gave you, there might be some potential side effects from it.
Possibly.
Yeah.
He's gonna have like 3 more kids.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool.
It looks like the mask, but
it is
Peruvian.
It is.
Yeah.
It is the mask.
It's
okay.
the mask. It's magnetized too, so you can put little magnets on it. It's not super strong, but
have you tried putting it on?
I put it on my kids, but it made no change because they're already like the mask. So
yeah, they are.
Okay.
Your kids are great.
I want to watch that movie.
That's pretty
again.
badass.
Yeah, it was freaking awesome. Thank you, Gary, for giving me this.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
I got an
I haven't
alien
played
head
them
downstairs.
all my
I'll
special
show you.
people.
Yeah.
They could see it.
And I love that
I haven't
fucking
seen
movie.
that in a while.
That movie
So
is
I gotta
so
watch
good.
I gotta
It's
watch
very-
it again.
It's very 90s. It's
Yeah.
very 90s. It's got the swing music in it and
Okay.
everything, but it's good. Good stuff.
I'm looking forward to that time where my son gets old enough to start watching movies. Then I'll go. Then I'm gonna do like a, one new movie each weekend or something, like movie night.
It's gonna be a good time.
Until then, it's every animated movie ever made, and it's Bluey, and it's just be
Bluey's
ready.
okay. Bluey's all right. If you can get into Bluey.
Be
Approved.
ready.
Yeah.
ready.
Bluey's
Bluey
approved. Oh.
approved. Paw
All right.
Patrol's not so much. I've watched Paw Patrol so many times.
Okay.
Dude, VeggieTales.
So
I
bad.
watched the shit out of VeggieTales.
Oh, VeggieTales.
Yeah.
They've been around a long time.
I watched
it was all
VeggieTales
right.
too.
I didn't hate VeggieTales. I liked it. I think Doug Tenaple had something to do with that, didn't he?
Yeah, the revival.
Yeah. All right. So, Adam, what have you been up to, man? I know there's not been much in the news.
It's been quite quiet.
Oh man.
Kind of quiet, especially around the Timcast area.
Yeah.
Just really mellow.
Yeah.
Poor Dave Landau.
Oh man, I felt so bad for Dave.
No. Dave carried that show that
He
day.
did. He was like a good
he's
shoulder to
immense.
cry on.
David is
man.
awesome. David.
He really is great. I had a really big show a few days that last week because of it, and people actually started realizing that this Adam guy might actually have pretty good input on this Tim guy because he was his roommate for a long time, and I don't know. I kind of snapped at. There was a bunch of people in my chat that were like, "You're never gonna get over this," and I'm like, literally every YouTuber on the planet is talking about this right now.
Yeah.
Everybody. Why can't I talk about it? What? Anyway, but yeah, that was the thing. It was whatever. My wife was going through a lot, and she's feeling a lot better, and that's
good.
the biggest thing for me. So I do really appreciate anyone who prayed for me and gave some good energy in the air for me. That was rough. And Garrett pointed something out. He's like, had you gone with us, like she would have been by herself.
Yep.
And I'm like, damn, that's a good point. Like I needed to be here. I needed to stay. It was worth it. As much as it sucked watching you guys out there have a great time, and then you all got the freaking glasses, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, yours.
Wait, yeah, all together.
She refuses to take her little thing off. So
yeah, why does it
spreading?
It's stuck in skin, so I've been bleeding a little bit. But
yeah, you just get it in a little pocket. He said to keep it on there for like 3 days.
3 days.
Oh, really? Because my guy told me to keep my thing on for like an hour.
His looks awesome. Look at Gary's.
My guy was
look
the
how clean his
owner.
looks.
Was the shop owner.
Clean in 3 days.
Wait, did you have different artists do them, or all the same person?
It's 2 different artists.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I figured
you'd go with Gary's guy.
Yeah, he looked with me. He's like, whatever.
You got it. He's like, you got it.
You're good.
You know what you're doing with tattoos, right?
Yeah. It's good.
It hurt up till, or it didn't hurt up till like this part here.
I slept through the whole thing.
Did you?
A little micro nap. So
that's good.
We also got tattoos in Cusco. Me and
really,
Mel.
what'd you get?
So I got a little Peruvian hat. I don't know if you can see that. A little Peruvian hat.
I can't really get
down
into
there.
details, but
Hold on.
Let me make your screen solo.
Got it. Peruvian hat. Boop.
right there.
And then
okay.
I got the key work from Coding Cambria. So this is a tattoo I already wanted to get for.
I don't know what that means, but
Coheed and Cambria. It's a band.
I know the band. I don't know what the key.
The key work is like their logo.
Keywork.
Yeah, it's their logo. It's in the store. It's in the lore.
I'm glad you finally got the tattoo you wanted.
But it was fun. It was not sketch at all.
No,
I was afraid it was going to be sketch, but it was not. It was cool.
Good. Nice.
Melissa has the coolest one though, because she's got an elongated skull.
Yeah, hers.
Oh,
super
rad.
awesome.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
Did you guys? You posted some pictures? Did you go to a museum and see some?
Yeah,
I thought I saw some pictures.
They had the sutures. They weren't like genuine elongated skulls. They were like
there's one that didn't have the suture, but the other ones were like probably cradle headboard.
Yeah.
And there's also like an alien one, but yeah, they had like 4 or 5 of them in there. It was a tiny little museum, right? But it was cool to see, and we got pictures of mummies too.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's a couple of mummies in there. But it's like a tiny museum, and then it's part of another church that's on top of a fortress that has precise megalithic structures in it, and it's got the one little fill stone that's like this big.
Oh, cool!
It's like a little puzzle piece.
It was totally adorable.
They talk about it in Ancient Apocalypse.
Yeah,
they go right there, the same spot. What was really cool about is Corey Conchin was the name of that temple that was right there. It was a Inca site. Spaniards came in, demolished part of it, put their church on top of it. Then earthquake came, knocked down the church. The temple is still sitting exactly where it was. But you're in there and you can see the stonework is more advanced here in the middle of Cusco than it is at Sacsayhuaman. It's like the same techniques, but they took what they learned there. Whoever built them took what they learned there and built one here, just way more refined. The stonework is more precise. The blocks are more, they're more normalized. It's like the same. It's like 2 feet by 1 foot blocks, pretty consistent. But it was really cool seeing the different skills. And what blew my mind is, because I don't know a whole lot about the Inca, so we were learning some stuff there. It's only 95, like from the beginning of the Inca Empire to the end is 95 years. So supposedly,
that sounds like bullshit.
Supposedly,
95 years
right,
to learn all that.
They learned how to make all of the stonework, all the different sites. There's like hundreds of sites that are all over the place. We'll talk about them because they talk about it in the show. They learned all that, the stonework, the amazing stonework there. They learned all of the agriculture. They did all the terracing on all of the mountains. 95 years, that's it? That just baffles me.
How did they get that number?
There's no way.
Where did that come from?
It comes from the dating of the Spanish, right? It goes all the way back then. And it also comes from, I think, when they're dating some of the megaliths, it comes from carbon dating. But yeah, it's like 100 years. It makes no fucking sense.
No sense.
No way. No way. Dude, when you're there, when you're in Cusco, the first thing you see this town in a valley, and you look on the side mountains and you see these lines just all the way up these mountains. Fucking everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And like there'll be a sheer cliff. and there's like say there's a 500 to 600 foot drop right here, and then below that there's another 2,000 feet. Say there's like a little mound in the middle of it. There'll be fucking terrace there. Yeah.
But the Sacred Valley is on both sides of the Sacred Valley are mountains. So there's mountains all the way up and terraced. The entire length of the Sacred Valley. We went from basically where Cusco is to Machu Picchu, and all the mountains, all the way up to the top, terraced. Because at one point,
are the stones that are made these terraces made of? Are they very similar to the older stonework or the newer stonework? Like the Incas did it.
It seems newer. Because they have some that are excavated and kind of like rebuilt a little bit. And that stonework looks more cobblestone, kind of put together with some janky rocks and whatnot. But it's nowhere close to like Sacsayhuaman or any of the other ancient sites that we looked at.
Yeah,
it looks newer for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like 95 years is they came in, saw all this stuff, and was like, this is amazing. Let's just live here.
Exactly.
Right? And then where are they going to farm? Let's make these terraces. You know, they spent a couple generations building that up and living on the land and creating the terraces, living in the places that are already there.
Well, our great tour guide, Marcia, she was so great. Our tour guide was like our mom there. She was awesome.
Nice.
She was explaining that the terraces aren't just for agriculture. So they were for that, but they were doing science there. Basically, it was like a laboratory. They were seeing where crops grow the best on what elevation. So they would grow on the bottom and then the middle and at the top and where they grow best. And then they would plant accordingly. So they had these terraces everywhere, all over the place. It was
95 years,
right? So you're developing all this stuff at the same time. Stonework, no way. And then you have these older sites. They talk about it in episode 4 of Ancient Apocalypse. They have these older sites, Temple of the Moon, Temple of the Monkey, that are not stonework. It's like it's not individual stone blocks. It's built into the stone itself, the bedrock itself, and it's like that looks even older than any of the other stonework.
Oh, yes. And that thing
I didn't see this one before it was wrapped. I haven't got to see.
Is that also the same type of jade?
Yep.
That's cool.
It's magnetized.
What are the eyes?
Yeah, what are
obsidian?
I don't know. Good question.
Is it stone?
Got that at Oleana Tempe, right?
Oh yeah. This is like
no, the eyes stone.
The eyes they feel maybe they're glass. I can't tell.
Yeah, glass would make sense too, actually. That's cool though.
Maybe
That's
they're
dope.
obsidian. I don't know.
X-Ray, what'd you pick up? Where are you, X-Ray?
I am in the Nerdrotic.
Wait, I can show you. Hang on.
Wait, what?
How long?
Oh, he's showing me.
Where'd he go?
Little kitty.
Oh, that little kitty. I saw that. That thing is hilarious.
Oh my god.
Oh, hey. Hey. I know that guy. Wow.
Yeah, I'm in.
That was a lot of energy that he just did to just do that.
And he said he walked 6 miles today already. My goodness.
It's like
I had to climb over my suitcase.
cool. Cool, dude. I gotta wait to make fun of him because he's got a
teleported
shirt.
Right
here.
Yeah, you teleported. Yeah, it was so cool. Wow. Yeah, totally worth it. Thank you for that. Wow.
Sure, wasn't it though?
Amazing. Sure.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was incredible. Okay, so you're in Texas.
Sweater.
Yeah,
You got a what sweater?
Alpaca sweaters. Like,
Oh, nice.
And alpaca beanies. I got a little beanie.
Oh, yeah, nice.
They're
Nice,
so warm.
I bet they were so cheap too.
dude.
Oh my god.
Everything is cheap there.
$20.
Oh, I believe it. Wait, how much?
It's crazy. $20.
$20? Did you get like 50 of them to bring them back and slang them out there?
I got one for every member of my family, so that's
Dude,
like 50 basically.
Smart.
The Uber rides
Smart.
there are like $2.
Yeah, you can go from one side of the city to the other side, and it's like $1.50. Would you like to tip? Sure, whatever.
Yeah, I paid for one dinner.
$15.
Yeah,
I paid
He was
for
like,
one dinner, and it was like 700 soles. I'm like, oh, that's pretty high. And then I saw like the conversion rate. Oh, it's a couple $100. It's okay.
yeah. It was. Yeah, I think it was under
Nice.
$200.
So how many people were in the group together? Like obviously you three, Warner and Wolf.
24.
Yeah.
Okay. Of the 24, how many people were from chat like that we,
20?
told about this? Straight up, 20.
Yeah.
Just a huge crew.
Yeah.
Most of them
So
were,
cool.
were our people. It was really cool to meet everybody.
Maybe
Oh.
4 that weren't. They're like, you look.
Yeah, there was a couple.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Alec Baldwin's
Awesome.
finger was there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Greg,
Trish.
Sophie, Trish, Meg.
How many great people?
Yeah, a lot
That
of
was
great-
I feel like we did get a special group because people that have done trips before said like, oh, sometimes you get weird groups and you get people that are like ornery or annoying or something. But like every single person was like down to go hang out and go look at stuff and check out all the nubs. Like we touched so many nubs. What's up, Sophie? Touched so many nubs.
Sophie!
It was awesome.
I touched all the nubs. Oh my god!
Every single nub
Yeah,
possible.
you're a nub whore.
Sophie was a freaking trooper, man. She like climbed all the mountains, didn't complain. She's awesome.
Yeah,
And she's like 4, like 9.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
like a
She
hobbit.
was just like,
Yeah,
she's like a spider monkey.
like a spider monkey. She was.
So what was the most memorable place that you went to? Like what was the one thing that you got to and I want to hear all of your answers like that made you go wow.
Gary,
I know there
Oh,
might be more than one, but pick one. Pick the most
Temple of the
important.
Moon, Temple of the Monkey, because that's the one I didn't expect. Like I knew what Ollantaytambo was going to look like, and because I've watched so many videos to the point where when I got there, I knew my way around because I have
Really?
watched so many videos there. Like, oh yeah, the Temple of the Sun's up there. We got to go through this little switchback, climb a stairway. The other stones are on the bottom because I watched Brian Forster videos.
Right.
Temple of the Moon, Temple of the Monkey is in the same area as Sacsayhuaman. It's about 1.5 miles up the road. You can get on horses or just walk, and you got to go about 3/4 of a mile in.
Yeah,
and there's no fee, no ticket, no supervision, no bathrooms, nothing. It's a trail.
Cool.
And there's this just giant carved out mountain which looks like a quarry. And then on the other side, there's a little valley, and you go up a hill, and it looks like everything was blown to shit.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
scattered all the way through this
It's
hill.
scattered everywhere. So there's upside down steps, and that's not the only place. And that's where Graham went into that. We didn't go into that tunnel, but that's where Graham went into the tunnel, and
he has the snake on the inside of it. And you were talking about the smooth stone. That's the Temple of the Moon. That's where we went. That's like you were saying, there's no tourist stuff. There's basically just like a big map on the side of the road, and it goes, hey, these sites are in this area, and you walk down a dirt trail and it's there.
And
like
you
it's like
figure
almost
it out. So we have
untouched.
tons of video of that, right? And Garrett and I were looking at there's parts of the rock that look like they're chipped away. There's parts of the rock that look like vitrification, like straight up vitrification. There's one rock that has a giant like trapezoidal cut out of it, and there was like some Peruvian dude sleeping.
Yeah, just
just randomly sleeping in there. And then he got up and started playing the drums.
Yeah, it was awesome. While we were there, dude, it was magical because we were going up this side of the mountain, this dirt trail. There were some llamas coming down. We were like hanging out with the llamas, and then across the valley, a Peruvian band, like a traditional Peruvian band, started playing drums and music and like the pan flutes that they have there. And it was echoing all the way through the valley, and you could hear it from anywhere. It sounded like you were right next to it.
It started attracting the animals like a fucking Disney movie.
It really did. They started going.
The horses started trotting happily. Yeah. They're like, "Oh boy!" They're like, and the llamas.
This is my jam.
They all started going towards the music. That was weird.
That was really weird.
Cool.
Yeah, I got a video of it. So we'll play some of that at some point. But yeah, it was super cool, and it started to like get really dark, and rain was like coming in, but then it didn't hit us. It was just enough to kind of like make it all look cool. Yeah, that was a pretty cool spot.
Garrett, what is the spot that made you go wow, and that's really stuck in your head? It could be the same, I guess.
That was one of them.
That was one of them.
Every one of the sites was so cool. Really? Sacsayhuaman, the entire complex, you don't see it when you talk about
big it really is.
Yeah, they really focus on the zigzag walls, which is cool because like those are amazing. They're huge and they're baffling. You don't understand how they were made, but there's about the size of like a football field in between Sacsayhuaman and across there are these naturally formed granite. It looks like they're like rolling stone.
Came down.
Yeah, there's like multiple
waves.
waves of rock, and they just look just fascinating. And there's steps that are carved into them, and on the other side there's like these natural slides. And then there's even more to that whole complex. There's like tunnels that were dug under inside the rock, and more stonework that they just don't ever focus on, because I guess they're just focusing on the Sacsayhuaman. But that was really cool. That was like really baffling to me, because I'm trying to understand. And I would try and find a photo, but they don't have any photos of it.
I've got a video of the.
We got some video of it.
Of the 360. I'm gonna pull up right now.
Cool. But this stonework, they have chunks of it just taken out, like you were saying in this,
like scoop marks,
no, more than just a scoop. It's like a seat has been like scooped out, like they cut a block out and like scooped it out. So this side is more, it's fallen apart, but you see over here on the left side, see how they're kind of waves?
Yeah.
On the opposite side, they're all connected. So you can see there's a bunch of cracks on these waves, but on the other side, it's all one big piece.
I see like a dragon, it's just like one big dragon. It just like gets up and flies off.
It was really cool to see that. And like, I tried to look after that night what this could be like geologically. How do these form like this? Because they just look so fascinating to me. So that was one cool spot, because it was cool to see Sacsayhuaman and how big the complex actually was compared to how they talk about stuff.
Yeah. So this isn't Sacsayhuaman right here.
This is Sacsayhuaman. This is me standing in the middle and doing like a, just turning.
Oh, okay, okay. All right.
So you're about to see the walls. There's Cusco right there.
There's Sacsayhuaman.
There's Sacsayhuaman.
Okay, all right. This is the one the traditional thing that I remember seeing. Yeah, the zigzag walls.
Yeah.
Are you able to go back to the zigzag walls? Can you go up to the top where there seems to be, up on top of this hill?
There's a structure on top.
Did you guys go up there?
Yeah, but they had all of this cordoned off and you couldn't get up to it.
Oh, okay.
There's a circular part up on top that you couldn't go to for some fucking reason. They're doing some digging there, and they were doing some digging at Machu Picchu too that they covered up. They're covering shit up now.
But the quality of the stonework compared from these giant megalithic walls compared to the stonework that's up on top, you could even see it with your eyes right here. Smaller stones, more cobble, not as intricately like positioned to each other. It feels like two different craftsmen.
Yeah. So cool.
Oh, the geopolymer argument really holds well here if you believe it, because what Michael, there's parts of these the bigger stones right here that that look like they're vitrified, but a better argument might be it was a bad batch of geopolymer, because there is no vitrification on the stones next to them, and they look like it was a bad batch and they're rotted out.
Yeah, like it just didn't form as well.
Right, yeah.
Well, I've been following Marcel Foti very closely, right? I mean, I actually got one of his stone Mount Moai heads, and it really does feel like stone. And he's been doing a lot of research.
He's working with other people. On chirping at people on Twitter, though.
That's true. Calm down, bro. He does need to chill out a little bit, but he's making a good case though with the natron theory. It's everywhere on the planet, and you can use it to chemically melt rock and make put it in buckets. Yeah. That's how they made the pyramids. Allegedly that would make sense, right? That you would just carry one bucket at a time, dump it into the mold until it's full, let it cure. It cures fast. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I see it.
I've heard that, like, I think the term geopolymer might not be technically true. I saw somebody was saying that the molecular structure of a polymer is not what stone is. Like, stone creates crystals and polymer creates like protein connectors
or something.
Yeah, liquid we just need to find a different term. But liquid stone.
Yeah, interesting.
Science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Hugh Newman had a word for it. What did he call it? I don't remember. I got to go back to when he was on the show.
But I watched the 4th episode of Ancient Apocalypse, and he's talking about softening the stone, like at Temple of the Moon, how they created some of these pathways. It seems like they were able to vitrify some of the stone and soften it and mold stuff into it. Like when you're there, I thought maybe we were going to get there and it was going to be like, okay, some of the stuff will make more sense when I get there. It made less sense when I got there. I was like, well, this can only be some kind of softened stone that they put in these spots, like moldable. If it was like in a more volcanic state or something, or a pre-stoned version, I don't know, and then it cured into these shapes. Like it doesn't make sense otherwise. Like how they were able to perfectly put these stones next to each other.
Some of the stones literally were like double your height. Yeah. And like you couldn't even wrap your arms how wide it was. Like
they're like 2 stories tall, some of these things.
And they're supposed to come
I could see
55 kilometers away.
Yeah.
Look at these tiny people.
They're small people.
You could see them standing next to the wall. Like that right in the center, there's that tall one rock that goes all the way to the top. That's got to be like 4 or 5 human height right there.
Yeah, there's some that are like 20 feet.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's really, really incredible. Marcia, again, she was saying in the 90s, they took a stone, that the people of Cusco took a stone from the quarry and manually, as if, the conventional method that they think they did this, took this stone and moved it to this location. But it was like the size of half of a person and it was thin. And it was not these massive stones that these are. And it took them like a week. So like, you're moving these heavy stones that are 2 stories tall from how far away did you say, Gary?
55 kilometers.
I don't know. That's
over mountains.
And you had 95 years to do
11,000 feet.
In 95 years.
And that's just one site. You have to also do Machu Picchu, which is way up in the ass fucking mountains, dude. That's higher than the clouds. Like we went up in the clouds, man. Like you're doing it up there too?
Bus ride to get up that
I don't know, man.
It was insane.
So it definitely feels like being there. There was a pre-Inca civilization that the Incas came and they were the ones that were like, oh, I don't know if they were there at the same time and it just passed down to them or what, but it definitely feels like 2 different people. And then the Spaniards came and showed up and they just kind of messed it all up. They do not like the Spaniards there, by the way. No. They were talking a lot of mad shit on the Spaniards.
The Machu Picchu, seeing how so to get to Machu Picchu back in the day, they had to do the Inca Trail. That's like days, okay?
Yeah, which is like 4 days walking.
And somehow they got there and brought stones and put them together.
Yeah,
there apparently were quarries there.
It was half of the stones that built Machu Picchu were from like leveling off the peak, basically. But they also had quarried stones.
So
they were moving there.
Scale wise on the terrace, we got a person walking right here, right? And that's how fucking big they are.
Wow.
And that's an excavated one. So these are excavated
one.
All the mountainsides in the background, all the way to the top, terraced.
All the way to the top, terraced.
Yeah, Luke was just there too, Luke Caverns, and he had a video where it really clearly shows the unexcavated sides, but he points out and you see all these once you see the lines, then you realize that it's like, oh shit, it's the entire mountains.
Oh yeah, dude.
And so I've been watching a lot of his stuff. It's been great. So I can't wait to see your
stuff.
Keep
going like, oh, that's terraced. Oh, that's also terraced. That's also terraced. It's just it's as mind-blowing as the sites for me.
Yeah.
It's just like the amount of work that went into terracing all of this stuff. And then you're thinking, okay, well, that means that they were growing stuff there, which means what? They need water, they need irrigation. They're working on all this stuff. Oleana, what's the one we went to? Not Tempe. Oleana Tombo.
Tambo?
that has irrigation, and to the point where they carved out a channel inside the rock to provide water to different buildings. Like it had a water that came down, and then stone buildings all along. They're all torn down. You could just see the foundations, but it has water that runs across the wall and then goes into that building, and then runs across the wall into that building. That was also really cool. So like they had like irrigation and all kinds of awesome engineering was going on at that place. 95 years.
Yeah, I question the timeline a little bit. So Ancient Apocalypse, the reason this show is here is from season 1 of Ancient Apocalypse. We got season 2 while we were gone. 6 episodes focused on the Americas. I'm going to say I like season 1 more, but they kind of stretch things out a little bit at the end. It gets a little more esoteric. They talk about the ayahuasca, and it's fine that they focused on the Americas. I really wish they would have gotten into more. If you have read Graham's book, The Americas, like it gets into a lot of shit, but it was still really fun to watch. It was great to watch there. And really I love how they started out with we talked about, they started out with the footprints, and in New Mexico they got into the lidar of the jungle. That's something Luke is deep into as well. We'll have him on in a couple of weeks. We have Andrew Collins coming on next week.
Cool.
From Megalithomania.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
I don't know if I think season 2 was a little bit it was just different because it was connecting different dots. It reminds me of when Luke talked about, I think he did a video about the bags, right? And how he thinks that it had something to do with drugs being carried in the bags. And
yeah, that's Graham thinks that too.
It feels like Graham was kind of using season 2 as a way to present it without putting it in your face, right? I mean, he kind of went there at like, I don't know, episode 5. He really kind of
and in
started
their
connecting
defense,
the dots.
In their defense, like they wanted to shoot a lot more, and in America they wouldn't let them. They went to a couple of mound locations and they said straight up, you can't shoot here, which is fucking retarded.
Yeah, it's
sick of this stuff. And that just, that's going to make Graham's argument even stronger. It's like, what are you afraid of?
Right.
What do you like? Even if he says the king of Atlantis was buried under this mound, who gives a shit? It's like, who cares?
Yep.
Other people are doing that every day. But it's just Graham. So like, the more you try to make him a pariah, like actually the more powerful he's going to get, because we're going to go, really? They wouldn't let this guy go to a fucking mound.
Yeah.
Which would have given the location a ton of attention, which would have brought in more tourists, which would have brought in more money. And they said, no, what are they afraid of? What are they afraid of at this point?
The foundation of everything that they know would be swept out from under them.
Yeah.
And that's why they can't stand him. And he's right.
Well, he didn't talk about this in the special, but this has been talked about a lot. Even Graham's hinted, 2012, end of the Mayan calendar. Everybody thought the world was going to end, when in truth, it was the change of an age, basically a change in reality, a paradigm shift in reality. That's what it really meant. And I think there might be some truth to that, because since then we've been woken up to a lot of bullshit, and we're starting to see a lot of paradigms fall. We're starting to see a lot of old ways fall. Remember, archaeology started as amateurs. They were amateurs. And honestly, I think that's where the best work is done. And they are just trying to protect their cushy little fucking jobs. I wish it was something more than that. I really do. I really wish it was like BlackRock and the World Economic Forum, hiding slee stacks or something like that. I'd fucking love for that. But it's just a bunch of petty little bitches fucking covering for their jobs. And like, they're not going to last long with this. And the more attention, he talked about on Joe Rogan, he said, I hope we get a season 3, because if we do a season 3, we're going to focus on Egypt, which would be rad.
I wanted to say this. There's definitely going to be a season 3, because he made up with Zahi Hawass.
That's what he mentioned.
And
timing it, getting it ready.
He wouldn't have done that if Netflix didn't like grease the wheels probably and prep for a season 3. He's probably already filming it. Like, of course, he probably already filmed some of the Egypt sections.
Yeah,
obviously. When I heard it was the Americas,
maybe
I'm
he's
like,
being
oh,
coy.
season 3.
Let's see what we're doing.
Maybe he's just being coy. But he's definitely like the Americas is going to be important because it's a piece of the puzzle, right? It just sucks we got to wait a couple years for it, but it's all right. I'll wait. Yeah, Flint Dibble got exposed.
Oh man.
Didn't he private his account?
Yeah. It's like Graham is going through the same shit we did. Adam with the news, what we did in pop culture. They come out with just all they can do is launch pejoratives. That's all they can do. They can't can't sit down and debate. Right? And all they do is lie and launch pejoratives. And Graham's feeling it, and this is why it's starting to happen in every facet of our lives. We cover mostly pop culture, right? Adam gets into the news. It's the same shit everywhere. And people are starting to wake up to this bullshit that we've been fed for decades. And Flint Dibble is part of that. And he goes there and goes on Joe and very confidently fucking lies to everybody. Like just fucking lies. So yeah, now he's gone. His little 15 minutes of fame are over. Thank God. He's a punk. And he doesn't do any archaeologists. And by the way, there's a lot of archaeologists that work with Graham. There's tons of them that work with Graham and are fine with him. They don't agree with everything he says, don't have to, but they work with him. And I wouldn't have Flint Dibble be your fucking spokesman because you're just gonna lose. What a bitch.
Dude.
What a fucking dude.
I tried to give it a bit of the doubt. Like, look, I don't like his presentation. I don't like the guy, but hey, maybe he does know some more about ancient agriculture and the seeds. And
turns out that was bullshit.
Turns out no. Turns out no. He doesn't know anything.
He lied about the seeds. So, he lied. He trumped up the number
of the boats.
And they Graham made a video, and then they started the Joe Rogan interview by just basically roasting the guy, which they should.
And then he private his account.
Rightly so.
Get out of here, Dibble. Don't lie, dude.
Dibbler.
Like this stuff is so annoying. It's like, look, if you don't agree with it, that's fine. But then to call him, and he did even after the debate, and after he was called out, he was still calling Graham racist and calling all the people. Dude, just go study your seeds and have some actual facts, and don't try to dip into this because it's not your spot. It's not your spot, dude. Not the day, not the person. Don't get in here.
Don't send your school to the institution that made that guy a professor.
No.
Right.
Whoever did that.
Yeah.
And whoever let him wear that suit on Joe Rogan.
Better off playing the
looked like his dad. It was his dad's or something.
Betting on black. It's better.
But like you were saying, like this stuff, it's done. The archaeologists, the scientists that are cool, that are into explaining stuff, like when the actor, what's his name? Oh my gosh, we talked about it the whole time. He was talking about space time.
Reeves.
No, he was on Joe Rogan. He was just, and then
Terrence Howard.
Howard.
Brett Weinstein came in, had a great conversation. Had a great conversation. Was like, here's where you're off. I like where you're going here, but maybe let's do this. Like, we need more of that. The ones that are like that, the ones that are open to having new ideas come in, civil discourse that will change both people's minds. We need more of that. I love that direction. And the people that are like Dibble, they're on the way out.
We got to go back to the time where not only civil discourse is allowed, but people need to remember that science and archaeology and all these fields are always subject to change. There is never any concrete, this is just done, it's set. The science is never settled ever. That's the whole point of science. It's like you always keep questioning, and it's like, oh well, this works, so we're going to go with that for now until something that makes more sense comes along. Maybe it'll never make more sense. Maybe they did figure it out, but always keep it open to question just in case.
Especially something like archaeology. You're making inferences on the amount of information that you do have, and for a fact you do not have all the information. So how could you like hang your hat on something and defend it so vehemently that you call people racist when you know that you do not have all the information?
Yep.
It's
the chat says science doesn't know everything or it would stop. Absolutely. So like you need to be multiple discipline to be an archaeologist now. I mean, like, I think
look at Randall.
That should be a requirement.
It should, yeah.
It
at least
should be
geology at the very least. Geology, but astronomy, and there are multi, and those are the ones we should probably listen to.
Yeah,
random.
But the key that Graham's never said he answered anything, but what he's doing is he's putting together a puzzle, and what he found is commonalities. We find commonalities in statues, in symbolism, that speak of, and even in spirituality. There is he talked about on Joe Rogan, the Egypt was obsessed with death, right? So they wrote a journey that you have to go on after you die. You go through the Milky Way, but you have trials and tribulations, and you have to pass through gates and have passwords. And other American, Native American cultures have a similar belief system, which is just like the flood myth, which is just like Atlantis, which is a form of the flood myth. Like a bunch of other cultures have an Atlantis-like story and a flood myth-like story. So there must have been some kind of source. The word Atlantis is a source. It could be one civilization. It could have been a name for multiple civilizations, super civilizations that were around and were different. And I'm not, they didn't have plastics and cranes and shit. They probably did things a lot different, and they were wiped from the face of the earth for some reason. And I don't think that's that crazy of a belief. Like, why would it be? There's other forms of humans. There was Denisovans, there was Neanderthal, and we're finding out that they weren't like fucking cavemen. They were actually pretty smart and cultured, and they were close enough to us that we could fuck them and have babies. So,
and then we all came around.
Yep. Oh shit.
Oh man.
Yeah, Atlantis was Numenor. You're right.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's such a crazy thing to want to look into. And I mean, they fight it like it's Bigfoot. Like, I like
as if it's a crazy thing.
Yeah. I like the story of Bigfoot. I want it to be true. I don't necessarily believe it, but you can't say Bigfoot's like Atlantis when there's tons of evidence that there was some kind of, like, there was either trade or something going on thousands and thousands of years ago. And
oh yeah,
everything keeps getting older. We're always finding stuff that makes us
finding a 250,000-year-old structure that was built.
Yeah,
was fucking found. Like, we don't know who built it.
How old were those footprints in New Mexico?
They're 23,000 years.
23,000 years.
So that just a decade or so ago, it was lock science. There was nothing before Clovis, which means nothing before.
Right.
And I'm gonna correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. It's between 12 and 14,000 years. So prior to
the land bridge.
No humans on the Americas at all, which is just utter bullshit.
Right.
Total bullshit. Now it looks like that people did travel here after the Ice Age, but there were already people here as well.
Yeah.
And they must have got along.
And they found Cusco, and they're like, this is where we're gonna live now, because this is amazing.
Cusco's a pretty amazing place.
Yeah, I think those stones were there long before what happened,
dude.
In the Younger Dryas.
In episode 4, he talks about on Machu Picchu, there's a stone that's carved. So, like we were saying in some of the other spots, Saksi Woman, there's these stones that look like they're just like scooped out. It's like a seat scooped out, or a stone that looks like it's been kind of geometrically shaped to look like a miniature version of a mountain. And he's talking about it in the show, like, and it looks this way. That is an older stonework. That is whatever pre-Inca that was passed down to the Incas. And then they built their temples around these locations to kind of signify that these are all like holy places, or like really important places. Because imagine you're the Incas and you're traveling across the land. You're like, where are we going to live? Where are we going to live? And then you find this location that has already these human stone structures that have been built in these areas, and you go, okay, well, let's start living here. And then you start establishing, and then you build a temple around that, and then you go up and you find this other on top of a mountain. There's human manipulated stonework,
right?
And then you start building something there as well. That's the thing. It's like, why do they think it's like Bigfoot? Why do they think it's so ridiculous? This is just the logical, like, just thought experiment. Yeah, there could absolutely be people that were earlier.
How many
Why
times
Why
did
is
you
that,
touch
why is
that?
a ridiculous thing?
Everybody touched it.
everybody
That's why
did.
it's so
But
shiny.
how many
Yeah.
times though? How many
A
times?
couple, at least 3 or 4.
Yeah, you
At
do a
least 3 or
little
4.
like
Okay.
triple
It
tap.
took at least a minute.
So this is in the city. This is in the
Full minute. Nice.
in the city. You see how like tight that stonework is?
Just the S.
It's
Little
insane.
figure eights. Figure eights.
Sorry. There's that little one, and then we saw a 12-sided stone down in the alley.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah,
and that was really cool.
This one's almost the most impressive though, because this makes no like. Who is the fuckers? Like, oh, we were off.
Oh, missed a spot.
Yep. We don't know math or anything, so you're gonna have to just eye it.
I think it has something to do with the molds. Like there happened to be like something, and they just. I mean, I'm becoming much more a believer of the cast. Maybe not a geopolymer, but something along the lines of artificially casting stone and making it stumping future generations into thinking it was cut.
Okay,
because they don't understand how to make it.
I think there's a happy medium because there's quarries everywhere, so you can see where they cut the stone out. You can literally see it, like it's all over the fucking place. But it doesn't look that smooth. Like when you go to this church, right? They built this church over this temple, right? And you see this shit, it's another fucking level, like how precise it is. Yeah. It is.
And there's techniques. There's pocket screws, like in woodworking. You drill sideways into a piece of wood, and then you could like drill right into it, and it's like a nice little pocket. They had those in the stone.
Yes.
Cool. Butting in the it's hard to explain without a photo, but there's like edges that went like this, and there's a little lip.
Everything
so
leans in
another piece of
everything leans in at a perfect fucking angle, right?
It's all
there's
that's why I didn't
little doors. And what Garrett's talking about is there's these little pocket screws, and it basically hooks everything on top, and it makes it They showed like where an earthquake hit, and some of this collapsed, and it still like maintained its structure, like it was completely safe. But the church at the time of that earthquake completely demolished, gone.
It's gone.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
And the earthquake like dislodged like 6 stones in this wall. Like it's fucking insane. And we'll have more pictures of it. But I think it's a little of both. I think there's some precision cutting going on, and I think there is some molding or liquefying stone or whatever.
Supposedly, this was all done with stone chisels.
Yeah, you know what it wasn't done with? Stone chisels by dudes in loincloths and barefoot. That's what it wasn't done by.
No.
So wait, stone chisels like the Dolerite bullshit in Egypt. They had their own version of that. Like
a stone chisel was able to do that. You bring that other
precise,
photo
that little tiny, the little no.
Yeah. And there's these windowless windows. They have these like sockets in the wall, kind of like in an old house, they'd have a spot for your old phone. Phone.
Oh yeah.
It kind of looks like that. And they'd have walls. They're like this. Everything's trapezoidal. And inside of this, the bottom of it would be like this. Like it would go and then go up and then around the corner. So it was like not just like they put a block here, put a block here, put a block here. Like this block is also part of the backside block, which is also part of the side block. It's like, I don't know how the hell they did that. It's insane. The stonework is so precise.
No, Dan Vast didn't build it. I just want to point out Dan Vast is the only South American who doesn't know how to use a machete because he almost cut his own fucking fingers off, retard.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I don't understand how he did that.
Yeah.
What did he have his hand like this and was just
and who does that?
But it wasn't.
Is he holding something like this and got only those fingers?
It was like what, first, second, and fifth?
It's these fingers.
Like
he sent me a timed out picture on WhatsApp, so I can't show you of like his dude. It's messed up.
I saw the blood. Sick.
He almost lost his
I saw the
finger.
blood trail. Yeah, that would have
down to the bone.
I mean, he's a singer, so it wouldn't have been the worst thing, but still sucks.
That's true. It's not like he's playing guitar anyway.
His he gets all like into the mic, and it would have looked a little different.
A little nubby.
It would have.
A little nubby.
Yeah. So yeah, no, okay. So Al Destroy, you say liquefying stone. What the fuck? So that's a good question. So what they've mentioned on Ancient Aliens before, and what Graham has mentioned before, is there is a bird in South America. Don't know the breed of the bird. Don't know the type. That its saliva can liquefy stone, and it's where it makes its nest. So that if something can happen, an extinct bird. So if something can happen in nature, then and it can be replicated, right? And we have Terra Preta. They love to bring up ayahuasca and the fact that out of 150,000 plant species, some dude, some witch doctor, some witch doctor went out there and's like got his assistant, got his Renfield to go out there and try every plant until it worked.
Right.
Wonder what that guy looked like when it was all over. But probably had tentacles coming out of his face. But yeah, like there's a lot of evidence that a lot of people spent a lot of time doing, and what they said, what our Peruvian guides were saying is they had laboratories and they were experimenting.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
And Cusco was basically an Inca town for the elite, for the scientists and scholars there to practice. And there was checkpoints. Not everybody was allowed to go to Cusco. You had to be of a certain intelligence to be allowed in the fucking city. Weird, huh?
Pretty badass.
Pretty based.
Like a big college, like a giant college city.
Yeah. So and that's where they had tough immigration policy in the Incan Empire.
Smart.
Dude, those salt pits we saw. That was
cool.
Pictures don't even do it justice. It's an entire valley of salt pits.
Salt pits, you say, huh?
Yeah, salt pits that are all family owned. Family owned. They're 1,000 years old, supposedly. What? No, I know where you're going, Adam, because I'm going to go there too. That's where Michael Collins goes. You know what? You know what's strange is with all these. We'll just use the term geopolymer, although it's not correct.
Yeah.
With all these big stones that look like they were molded, there just happens to be giant swaths of salt pits right near there, and that's one of the processes needed for
the Neutron theory.
Yeah.
And those salt pits, you can't just get one of these salt pits. The family owned, like they're family owned. If you're outside of the small valley that the town around that small, like the salt pit, you can't get one. Like if you're from Cusco, you can't get one. No. They will not. They're like, were you a family member of these specific families? No. Well, then you're out. Like,
they got a crazy HOA in this neighborhood.
Yeah. They're locked down.
They got a
hardcore.
Yeah. But it's the really whole valley, Adam. It's fucking insane. And like you're on the cliff. For one, the drive to that one was probably the worst drive.
Oh my God. I was actually nervous.
It was a 1-lane road and you're like on really soft dirt.
Oh, and you're in a big ass
soft dirt. And like it looks like SoCal dirt. Like
you had to be careful driving because if you round the corner and another car's coming.
So they're all honking their horns.
Yeah.
Wait, you weren't driving X-ray, were you?
Oh fuck no! We'd all be dead.
We'd be dead. There's no show. No more show. It was intense. We had some good drivers because man, they were doing some hairpin turns and some backing up and some scooting around cars. It was intense.
I have on my other monitor, I'm reading the Neutron theory because you can go to the website neutrontheory.com, and I'm reading like what it needs. And there's straight up just this giant picture of a salt mine. And I was like, right, you need salt. And right as I thought that in my head, you were like, I didn't know that these existed around there, the salt mines in Peru at all. So the fact that exists, and it's one of the most important parts of making this happen, it's like, I don't think it was acid from a bird's saliva. It was chemistry. Like you said, Cusco was like a university. Guaranteed they had that down.
They reverse engineered whatever that acid was, and they made something that can. Here you go. Here's what
is
the
it?
Salt pits
there you go.
Okay. Wow.
And that's half
in the valley.
Wow.
Yeah, it just keeps going down.
It's insane. And you know
that's
what?
A lot of salt.
The salt's good. So Garrett got this black salt, which is like pepper, but better, and it's
Smoked
so fucking
salt.
good on meat. Oh my god, the black salt is the shit.
Really good.
So it's like a burnt salt. It's like somebody grilled it, and it's so good.
Awesome. It tastes really good.
Now I want chocolate.
Quarter black salt.
Quarter black salt.
It is.
That was chat. That wasn't me. But it was good. Silver
good.
Battleship. Good stuff.
No, you're right. So I think that like if say some witch doctor, I'll just keep using that term because it's fun.
Sure.
They figured out they saw that saliva and they're like, maybe we can do that and replicate it. And that way we can work with stone so we can have safer structures that don't come down in the multiple earthquakes we have in these areas and other areas too. Or it could just be something passed on from a mother civilization. That's, we see the similarities everywhere. Dude, I was so stoked to find this, Adam. I found a keystone cut. I found a fucking keystone cut at Ollantaytambo. I was like, everybody's looking at the wall, and I walked over to the other side. I'm like, holy fuck, there's one right there. Right fucking there. I put my finger in it. I'm like, yeah. So
we violated all these things.
I violated the shit out of it. I fingered it.
I could feel your excitement.
I was so fucking excited to see one of these.
Amazing.
So if a keystone cut, Garrett, if you want to maybe look one up,
let me see if I can
cut's
find
in
one.
a stone and it's the shape of a key. And what the belief is they poured metal in there, and somehow that kept the giant stones together. And it wouldn't be enough. I mean, it would break. So there must be some science to where like these things are good on their own. Because remember, what we're talking about with megaliths is mortarless construction. These things are just cut perfectly and put together. No stone in the same. But keep going down.
Yeah, just butterflies.
Yeah,
but
there's a keystone cut right there. So you go up a little bit.
So cool.
Right there. So the theory was you put metal in those, which means they were doing metallurgy back then.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps it said, but the thing is they're not on every stone. And but you find them
like
everywhere.
This.
Are they megalithic stones?
They are megalithic stones.
Okay.
And you find the keys. There's one.
This is the one. This is the one.
There it is.
That's the one. That's it. And you find these all over the world. You find them in Indonesia. You find them in China. You find them in Japan. You find them in Egypt. You find them in Greece. You find them in Turkey. They're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere.
One of the things from Ancient Apocalypse, I would just bring it back a little bit to that, is the LiDAR and what it showed that there was a road system, and basically alluding to the fact that a civilization existed there before the forest.
Yes.
Right. And I don't know if when the Terra Preta came into it and if that was why the forest was able to grow as amazing as it did. I mean, it seems like it's all connected, right? These people that were doing experiments on where to grow things, it would make sense that they might have been the ones that were experimenting on soil with bacteria to try to figure out how to make the Terra Preta, which, if you don't know what that is, that's the soil that's in the Amazon that is regenerative. You
it's not natural.
It's not natural. It is man-made, and that is absolutely incredible. And I feel like we need to, I don't know, study that shit and unlock it.
Well, they have been
bringing it around the world.
Living soil. So what Graham talked about this, and science has been, and they can't replicate it, but there are tribes in the Amazon jungle who can still make it.
Cool.
And it's got pieces of pottery in it. And I'm blanking on the term. What's the term where you
reverse
put all
engineer?
You put all your fucking old food in the
compost.
Compost.
Yeah.
It's a type of composting, right?
Interesting.
But it's got biochar in it, which means it's got burnt shit in it. It's got pottery in it, and they know how to do it.
And they found pottery in every bit of this Terra Preta.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's pottery in all over the Amazon, and roads that he's finding. So there was once a time where there was a civilization of human beings that lived in North South America that just had everywhere. And it's like, guaranteed those are the people that built the original Cusco, not the Incas that came in later. Because that, I don't know if I agree with the 95 years, but clearly someone came in later and occupied the previously built place.
Well, we got to see those walls where it's like it's megalithic structure, and then it's a little better engineered but smaller megalithic, and then there's Incan, and then there's Spanish.
Right.
And you just look right up the wall and go, "There's the timeline right there." That's fucking bizarre.
So
like,
cool.
And that's in the middle of town, in a busy street. It's so bizarre.
Just standing there like, "Yep, we're at the peak civilization."
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we're the best. Okay.
No, but you're right, Adam. Graham pointed out that the Amazon jungle is a giant half man-made garden. Because a lot of the trees, a lot of the plants are human, are basically provide food. They're so useful to humans that it's obvious it's engineered. So you can go, it was engineered by human or is engineered by somebody else, but it was engineered. And now we see that, it's bad that they're burning the rainforest, fucking damn Vask, burning the rainforest. But we're finding out that there was huge swaths of it that were kind of cleared anyway. Yeah. And they had giant cities in there.
Yeah.
And they're just like randomly flying drones, because drones can carry LiDAR now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That drone was dope. And
they're like within 3 or 4 hours, they're finding shit.
Yep.
Like, so imagine if
they flew once. They flew one time. They were like, "Oh, look, there's a whole other road system here."
Yeah,
one flight.
In Appalachia, there's a vine that is not native to Appalachia. They brought it in from Japan, I believe, and I forgot the name of the vine, but it completely took over everything. It was supposed to help agriculture, but it is growing on everything. It grows on buildings. If you don't cut it back constantly, it will take over your building. So imagine that's what the rainforest is it was curated, and like we're talking about these scientists they had these trees, they had this terra preta that was like set there, and they were like a garden, and then they disappeared. Why did they disappear? And then that just takes over, because when the conquistadors got there, it was a jungle then. It wasn't like the conquistadors came in and then wiped out the Incas, and then they let the whole place go, and then it became a giant jungle. It was already a jungle.
It's already a jungle. But how much of a jungle was it? Where was it? We had no way of mapping it. That guy who went the wrong way down the Amazon was reporting that there was millions of people there. There was civilization, high art. And then 100 years later, when they went back, they all died because they all died from disease, right? It wasn't, Cortez and the Spanish and 400 people, Graham was talking about this, had a lot of help from disease and rival nations that hated the fucking Aztecs because they were ripping people's hearts out and shit. So they weren't
slaves.
Popular. Yeah.
The slaves of the Aztecs were like, hey, maybe we could use these white guys to kill the Aztecs. So then they're like all infighting. Kind of the same thing that happened in North America.
How the Americas got conquered. It was disease. It was, superior technology, disease, and all the tribes hated each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Because if they were unified and they were healthy, there's no way we could have conquered.
Outnumbered, insane
no
numbers.
Fucking way.
Yep.
So, but that's how it is.
That's how it is. They really don't like the Spanish.
Hey, they do not. They have all of these masks that are made to look like Spanish people, but they're all like in joke. They look like clowns and stuff.
Horrible.
Yeah.
But it's funny. But they're all
funny.
Catholic there, and there's lots of churches.
Yeah. They all speak. A lot of them speak English, and they're all Catholic.
Yeah.
So they've come to understand, but they still like.
COVID laid waste to the country, by the way. So there's a bunch of just half built. Yeah, there's a bunch of half built buildings, and
is it because tourism? They need tourism to like.
Yeah,
I don't know what their export would be.
It's coming back now because of tourism, but they've like gone into like there's a central government, but there was really no sign of it at Cusco. They had some police and stuff, but like.
It felt very local.
It felt very local. The traffic was insane, but nobody got in any accidents.
or even mad.
I didn't see, or even mad.
There was like full on like 4-lane highways where people are like coming both ways, and then a car would just go across, and then all that lane would stop.
Nobody get mad if somebody got cut off. They just go whatever. That guy.
I would have been so pissed. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, Americans would have been fucking fighting on the streets on that one.
Yeah, it would have been fists out, man.
Super chill. And then there was parts of like we're in the mountains, Adam. And there's like a 3-year-old kid watching a field by himself. No adults around at all.
With the
like
dog.
A kid and a dog.
With the dog.
Yeah.
3-year-old kid and the dog watching the sheep.
Wow.
Kids can run around there, it seems.
There were kids everywhere. They were all playing in the streets, playing marbles and stuff.
Dogs everywhere too.
They burn all their trash, or they leave their trash out for the dogs to eat it. All the fucking stray dogs look healthy as fuck. They did. And they're everywhere. Stray dogs. Not a lot of cats though.
Oh.
Stray dogs, huh? A lot of them.
Tons of them. Like everywhere.
Were they cool?
Yes.
Oh, dude, they were all chill.
Yeah.
Cool.
All super nice. Yeah.
Nice.
No other small animals. Nothing smaller than a dog, though.
No.
Because they were
no cats, no rats, no
the
squirrels or Oh, I see you.
None of those.
Well, guinea pigs.
Well, those are special.
They were yummy.
Oh, we saw one. I saw one at Machu Picchu. It was that.
That's
or
right.
Yeah.
It was a rabbit. It was a little.
We saw a rabbit just sitting in a little window. It was actually cute.
Chilling out.
Yeah.
Well, way to just disprove yourself, guys.
Well, no, that was in Machu Picchu. That's
at Machu Picchu. There were fucking dogs.
There weren't up at the top.
There were dogs everywhere. Like every trip, there's some stray dog running around. I'm going, God damn, how did he get here?
You know.
So Antitombo, dude, is it's fucking insane here. Let me.
It was like a little oasis. It was a spa almost. They had a nice little running creek that they made, and like I said, they had running. Well, there wasn't running water at the time, but there was channels for running water into each little abode. It was really cool. They had water under the ground, so they had like dug channels under the ground and then put stones on top. It was like running all the way through.
So explain this.
And then this.
What the fuck? It's a giant wall. Those are all like 16, 17 feet high. There's
wow.
The shims, dude, they're all 90 tons.
Massive.
And then there's shims, little shims right down the middle. And this thing survived.
Can you blow it up and zoom in a little, maybe? Yeah, wow. Okay.
Little nubs on the shims. That used to be carving in relief. So those the ones that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth from the left or first from the right. Those were animals that were like, I think it were jaguars carved in relief and that have just worn down over time. Mega nub right there.
Oh yeah.
Girl, I don't think she felt that one.
I don't think I felt that one.
You didn't feel that nub? That's the biggest nub there.
It was too big.
And these
I'm kidding.
And these stones were dragged across the valley.
Right. And then up.
And then up.
And up the side of the mountain.
And made this wall.
Buckets.
Dude.
There's no way.
There's like a conquistador there, like it said Colonel Perez
on the left-hand side,
Ortega or something on there. It was like graffitied onto it.
So look at the middle one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 from the left. You'll see a little carving in relief. You'll see a little design here on the bottom.
A little zigzag or something.
So that is essentially, that's essentially the.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
oh, okay. I can see it.
Yeah, you could. It's like a diamond. You could see that sign.
Oh, did you guys all get that? What is that? What is that made of? Is it that same jade or whatever?
I don't know. Some sort of.
It's like stone. Yeah, it's just stone.
But it's.
I recognize that symbol though.
Yeah, you've seen it in India. You've seen it in Egypt. You've seen it here in America. You've probably seen. You're from Arizona. You probably saw it in Arizona.
Maybe I have.
That symbol is everywhere. What is it? I don't know. I have no idea. But
Mesa Verde.
Someone sent me, Sophie, thank you, closer up photo of that.
Oh, awesome.
All right.
Good stuff, Sophie.
Thanks, Sophie.
Yeah, I would love to see it closer.
Perfect. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, wow. There's multiples, too. You can see it. It goes, there's 3 of them all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
Little nubs.
And there's nubs on the shims. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why?
Aesthetic. What is it doing there?
Do you think that maybe it was used as like, I don't know if you're going to build a wall and then have a different wall made of wood that's going to extend from that, like if you're going to use this as a perimeter and then build an interior out of wood, maybe, you know, they're
like
just
a locking nub, maybe
anchor point or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like why.
Well,
why would they have a nub? You know,
not it makes no sense, Adam, because they're not on everything.
Yeah, they're not
Right.
consistent.
They're
That's
not
what
consistent.
it doesn't
What
make
was
sense.
consistent that Michael Collins pointed out that looks like that the stones at Sexy Woman were molded was at the bottom. There's reverse nubs. There's indentations that almost look like you molded your stone and you wrapped it in a cloth and you put it up on the wall and it started falling a little bit. So you get some wood. And you
I've seen these.
Put it at the bottom and hold it up, and that's exactly what it looks like.
That's what it looks like.
I've seen them actually. Yeah, I've seen pictures of these. I bet I can find them real quick.
The reverse
I think I
nubs.
have something here. You can kind of see it from here.
Otherwise known as a hole, somebody said.
Not the same, okay?
Not the same,
So,
all right.
If you see like here, where's my mouse?
Look at
right here.
Oh, look at the one on the left. Like the one on the left,
Right
the
here.
back, right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that looks like somebody took a couple of 2x4s are bigger than that, but and held them up.
Just 4x4s. But it looks like that stone did start like, you know, coming out. You know, it does look like it droops out a lot.
Got that fupa.
All the stones
Okay.
pillow out from where they make
Yeah.
contact with each other. So, and I guess it just expanded maybe so much that they needed to put those like a shiv in there.
It has
to hold
like
it
a
up.
marshmallowy kind of like risen bread look to some of the stones.
It does.
too. Like to the point where you look at it at risen bread when you have a bread mold and it comes out, it's like you have like the perfectly to the sides of the bread mold, but then at the top it kind of like pops out a little bit. Look just like that.
And Adam, look at this. So that big pillar stone we're looking at right in the middle of the picture. Look to the right. So see that one? See that stone? It looks kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
So that's a much lighter example. You can see it a little bit on the right, but it looks like it's chipped away, like it went bad.
So that like the top half of it, you know, where it looks a lot darker,
where it's all fucked up,
like
it's not smooth. It looks like it just kind of like in the hardening process, something got fucked up. Like, and there's a lot of that there that looks like it just, it's like something went bad and then it reformed and got hard again. But a lot of the stones are really smooth, and then some of them are completely fucked up. Like there was some kind of damage or something. And then you look on the further right, see those 4 notches right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see a lot of that. And it's like, what's the point of that? I don't know.
This is a great example too, because right above that rock, there's that little kind of corner piece right there, that circle there. It doesn't look like they're chiseled to make that shape. It looks like a complete piece of stone that is just that shape, which doesn't make any sense because it fits perfectly. Yeah, like Play-Doh, like the stone is perfectly shaped like that. It just doesn't look like a chiseled, beveled edge.
Cast.
Maybe it's time.
Cast.
Every time I see
weathered.
this, the more I look,
it looks like it's cast, or it's molded in some way, or it was a soft stone at one point, and they were able to manipulate it, put it up there, and then it's set, and now it's stone. I don't know how you do that, but that's what it looked like. Geologist in the chat, I know you're in there. Let us know.
Well, and this is the famous part. This is the part where everybody goes, and Machu Picchu is where everybody goes. Machu Picchu was impressive. There's not a lot of, there is megalithic stuff there, and it stands out. It completely fucking stands out.
Yeah.
But for one, it's way bigger than I thought it was. It's fucking huge.
Machu Picchu?
Yeah.
Yeah, the complex is huge. It's a city.
Fucking huge. And
like a city.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like a little
I thought it was like
complex.
temple.
Like it's.
I thought it was a building complex. It's a fucking city.
Yeah,
That's what I thought too. I thought it was like a temple up at the top of a. Because you always see the iconic view with like the terraces behind, But if I didn't realize it's that large. City size. I can't wait to see your videos, guys. Did you bring a drone? Gary?
No, I wish I did.
Dang.
I should have.
Bummer.
But here's Michael and X-Ray Girl overlooking it. And I don't know if it does it justice, but there you go. So that's the picture everybody sees. But man,
it goes all back there.
It goes, oh, there's terraces and everything.
There's
I mean, that's
so much more. It's insane.
That's beautiful. It
When
looks
you're
like
in
you
it,
guys
it's
just had
so huge.
incredible weather too. Like I'm so happy that
it was awesome. When we were going up the side, it was misty and it was so misty you couldn't see like 20 feet in front of you. And we were like,
cool.
Oh man, is it gonna be like this? We can't see anything.
And
then right when we got to the top, it all like went off to the side, and then we like
welcome
awesome.
Travelers.
Exactly. Yeah, we could see the entire complex. It was beautiful. It was really cool.
Here, Sophie's sending me more photos. Thank you, Sophie.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's
awesome.
Hang on.
Wow.
Dude, it felt like Jurassic, like there's just these massive mountains. Oh, it was so cool.
It's beautiful.
Sorry, there's audio with that one. So there's earthquake damage right there.
Okay, I see that.
This is the megalithic part, and then there's
actually no. Marcia said that's not earthquake damage. That's erosion. So
erosion. That's right. That's right.
Not because like it went through all these earthquakes. It was staying this test of time, but the erosion of the dirt under it went away and it made it fall.
Look at that massive stone. At the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Bottom.
This is Machu Picchu here.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is at the top of a mountain.
Yes.
Yes. And this is supposedly a temple because they concentrated on like places of worship to like the really good stonework. And you can tell in the other pictures it just looks fantastical comparison.
It's two separate peoples making the stones. Somebody made this stone and then somebody made the other stone around.
Yeah, there's
I'm
lots of stuff looking different.
It looks a lot older.
It looks older.
That was our view that day.
Yeah, the clouds were all
the rolling clouds.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then more terraces, more science.
Yeah,
more science. I love that.
And that was a place,
science experiment.
That was a place that only the elite of the elite got. Like Cusco was a place where the elite got, but this was even more secluded.
This was the vacation spot.
Basically.
Yep.
Or just testing higher elevation. Who knows? Right?
Yeah.
And it was just so hard to get to this place, to take that 4-day hike at least.
Yeah.
At least.
How long did it take to get from Cusco to this? And how did you do it? Was it a bus or what did
it was a bus?
That takes you up?
It was a bus.
You got to walk.
Cusco. It was a bus from Cusco to the Sacred Valley, then a train to basically the foot of this mountain, and then you take another bus, switch back all the way up this mountain. Like,
and it was scary too because
jeez,
you didn't want to look at the edge. There was no railing on a
no railing and 2,000 feet drop.
Yeah.
So death. Okay.
Basically,
death. Certain death. Like absolute, like you're not living.
Wow. Cool.
Intense.
Yep.
Worth it though. It was super cool. And while I was up there, we were looking at stuff. I get a FaceTime call from my daughter.
Yeah, the internet worked up.
Wow, on top
cell phone thing. Yeah. You can get a cell phone thing. I tweeted a couple times from Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was loving the Forbidden Frontier account while you guys were there.
Yeah, it was super
so cool to see what you guys are seeing.
I wish we went there earlier because now they have guided tours. Like there's pathways that you can go and you can only go. But apparently before 2020, you could kind of just anywhere you wanted to go. You just went up there and you walked all over the place. But but now it's like a curated path that you have to
Now
go.
good.
You can only go one path, which is a
Mhm.
bummer. You don't see everything. You have to buy another ticket to go the other path and then go the other path. Little bit of a bummer, but it was very cool to see what we did see.
Mhm.
What is that? Those two
This is-
circles. What is it? Just
That
dirt?
one I don't remember, because these are Sophie's pictures, but you can see the difference in the walls, lower and upper.
Yeah, but I'm curious what those things on the ground are.
They
They're
look
not
like
holes, right? That's dirt.
No,
It looks like like dirt, yeah.
Interesting.
They're still excavating stuff.
Into
They had
bedrock?
something covered. Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
other thing we found a lot of nubs in bedrock, Adam.
Really?
Yes. So
Which
the
is
nubs in
fine.
the bedrock thing is really bizarre. It
Yeah,
makes
what's happening there?
no fucking sense. But there are
No.
nubs in bedrock all over the place. Ollantaytambo was the best example.
And not like that, like the bedrock was like chiseled away, and then there's a nub. Like it was just like the actual stone, natural forming stone, and there's a nub in it.
There's a nub in it.
Maybe it's not natural.
Maybe
Maybe
who
we
knows?
got to rethink
Maybe,
our
maybe.
view of like stone, right? I think that we really that's what's happening right now. There's a lot of people that are now using. I mean, I want to do it now. Actually, you could do it yourself. He's released all of the stuff that he's been doing. So I want to try my hand at making some stuff.
Hell yeah, make a video.
I will
See it.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'll do exactly that. This is exciting. I mean,
Should do that for this channel, like cooking
We could talk
stone
about
with
that.
Adam. Yeah,
yeah. You want to
Cooking stone?
yeah.
Getting
Let's
stoned
talk about it.
with Adam.
Getting stoned with Adam.
I'm down.
That'd be
hey,
awesome.
Yeah.
Extra girl, what was your favorite place that we went? I don't think we talked.
Yeah.
Oh, just hiking up on the Montaña Machu Picchu, there was a great appreciation for how these little human beings traversed nature to get to the spot, and
Were
it
they
was
little?
nice to I
Everybody
think
was like
Asians
3
in
feet
general were
tall.
shorter. Like
Really?
I think they're around like the women. Like some of them were so
They're
tiny.
very tiny,
You
yeah.
put them in your pocket.
Yeah, you feel like a giant there. You do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like under 5 feet tall. But I'd say like
This
average
picture is
probably, like,
beautiful.
5 to 5'4". But yeah, hiking up the mountain to see above Machu Picchu was it was really cool. Plus being unplugged was really nice.
Yeah, I bet.
From the internet.
Yeah. Montana is this back the tall peak here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
Is there
went-
something
I
on
didn't
top?
go there.
Is there something
What?
up there?
Uh,
Oh, is that where you climbed with Wandering Wolf?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I saw that picture. All right, so you were
Like
up on
a
top of that. Cool.
Nice little outpost. You can see everything from there.
Awesome.
Pretty cool. Very awesome.
Yeah, and they had something tinted off here in the middle of this
A new
courtyard.
discovery.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, it was like there's a tent there that had it all covered up. That was about.
They're digging down in there, maybe.
Oh, I heard that it was. I heard that they had it open, and then people were like questioning, like, "What's going on over there?
yeah,
What
so
is
they
this?"
started
And then they
covering it up.
covered it up.
And Marcia said they were starting to cover more stuff up now.
Sad.
Yeah. It's all Graham's fault.
Dang it, Graham! What the
People
heck?
want
Why'd
to
you get
know
so
the
cool?
truth, and we just don't want to accept it from dibblers and
Oh,
fucktards like that.
I have
Weird,
the tent
huh?
picture.
It's the experts. It's the experts. You know what? Find me a guy who can dress himself before he goes on a fucking Joe Rogan
Yeah.
interview, and then I
heck?
might start leaning towards expert. But it looks like looks like Helen Keller is his mom. Put his outfit together and then put it
Damn.
on for him. Probably wiped his butt.
I'm too important to wipe my
So
own
yeah,
ass.
there's the tent. So like Garrett and I were like, oh, I accidentally dropped my camera right in that little hole, and I have to go chase it now. I almost wanted to run down there. There was nobody who could have stopped you. We could have.
Oh
run
no, you
down
would have
there.
saw what's in there, man. All the aliens turn over.
It's
They're like,
giant. It's a giant skeleton. That's what it is. It's a giant skeleton.
Zorbu.
yeah.
Zorbu, Bigfoot, and like a couple other
Dang it.
cryptids are sitting there playing
Yeti.
poker.
We said no eyes over here, man. I'm trying to relax.
No, Zorbu's like, Garrett, hello. This is awkward.
Fancy
We don't fancy meeting you here.
Weird.
We keep meeting like this. People
I'm hanging
are
out with my
gonna
friends.
start talking. All right, let's get to soups. How you doing, Adam? You awake?
Yeah, I've been figuring out how to sleep whenever I'm able to. I never had that ability. And last night I probably slept the best I have in 2 months because
Wow.
I woke up a few times, but I woke up and I saw that my wife was taking care of him, and I was like, "Oh, okay, good." And then I went back to sleep. And it's like I didn't break my sleep cycle. I don't.
Oh yeah.
It's something
dad
changed.
power.
Something changed
it's a
last
dad
night.
power. It's definitely
Yeah.
a dad power. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something internally
Yeah.
that just gives you a little
good.
more sack, basically, to where you can
Yeah.
you don't need as much sleep. It's
Yeah.
it's just something instinctual that a
Yeah.
flip is a switch is flipped.
Leveled up.
Leveled up.
Basically, yeah.
I
Leveled
woke up
up.
we were talking
feeling
about-
good.
To go back to we went on this awesome trip with Wandering Wolf. We're talking about doing Turkey next
Yep.
year.
I'm close to there.
So
Yup.
you guys are feeling that
Oh,
FOMO.
attendance.
Just start to plan
FF
it.
trip.
Woo!
Let's
The
go.
thing with
Okay.
Turkey, there's a lot in Turkey that I want to see. There's
Well,
a lot.
that's the thing in Peru. We scratched the surface. Barely.
I bet.
scratched the
I know. I
surface.
bet. Yeah.
But Turkey, I think Michael said the possibility of Darren Kuyu, which I definitely want to go to, and go Beckley Tepe. So one of those,
Definitely. Those are the two
Gotta
really.
go to Beckley Tepe.
if we see the
Yeah.
pools of Abraham
And
that'd be kinda
Carahan.
cool. That'd be kind of cool too.
But they're close enough. You can kind of hit them
Yeah,
both.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody, mark out your calendars. Possibly
Chat.
October.
Chat, I'm with you. I'm looking forward to Turkey in about a month. A month from
Oh.
today. I'm looking forward to Turkey. A little
Turkey
stuff.
sounds awesome.
Sounds awesome.
Turkey sounds awesome. Egypt sounds awesome too. Just throwing that out there.
Egypt's awesome.
But Turkey sounds badass.
Maybe
It's
a shorter
more-
trip to Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why you haven't gone to Chaco Canyon yet. I mean,
There's no
You've been
excuse,
taught-
Adam. There's
you've
no
been talking about it for
excuse.
a year,
No
and now Ancient Apocalypse, dude, he went
got-
there. It's like,
I got no excuse.
come on.
We're gonna make it happen. I think this week, if Garrett isn't doing anything Thursday, he's not editing a video for his asshole boss.
Thursday's Halloween.
Oh, Thursday's Halloween. We can't go. Well, maybe we
I
can go
know. I
during the
just
day.
realized.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
figure
Wednesday.
something out.
Maybe Wednesday. I
Figure
don't
it
know.
out, though.
Well, there's the in Waco. There's that mammoth museum
Yeah, yeah.
I want to check out, and there's cart ruts like within an hour from us right now.
So
Cart
cool.
ruts. We'll see. We'll see how the week goes. Yeah, that's my anniversary. That's my wedding anniversary is Thursday.
Oh, cool.
Right, yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Halloween.
21 years.
Awesome.
21
I
years.
got my son a
Total
little
blitz.
a little onesie that's all black with little skelly bones.
Oh, he's a little
Aw.
skeleton.
His first little
Yeah.
costume. That's
Yeah.
adorable.
Yeah.
You get him a little elongated skull.
I would love to do
Put it
that.
on.
Yeah. I
Could be like
probably
knitted.
3D print it or something. You know?
That's
It's
true. You
like-
can do that too. Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, we didn't show the picture of the skulls. Real quick, I'll do that.
Oh, I want to see those. Yeah.
I'll do that.
I think I did see them actually. Were they posted on Forbidden Frontier? I think
Yep.
I saw it. Yeah. Follow Forbidden Frontier on X. Check it out.
FF show official.
Actually, was there any of these that made you go, okay, wow, that's weird?
That day I was very sick, so I
that
actually
sucks.
didn't leave the place.
Everybody got
Okay.
sick but me, dog. That's right.
Yeah,
Ugh.
It's
I'm a little
Nice.
jealous of you.
Yeah. You make fun of me for not drinking out of the glasses because I was too paranoid about the water. But look at that. Everybody got a little bit of the ick.
I got sun sickness. He got water.
I got Veracocha's revenge. Yeah.
Veracocha?
Yeah. Well, I got to, that's the Incan version. So.
Yeah. That's cool. Right. I know Montezuma.
Yeah.
Right.
Veracocha's revenge.
What are the glasses? What do you mean?
So every time you order a drink, they'd bring you the Coke or the water or whatever, and then also give you a glass.
Okay.
I was like, I'm drinking right out of the bottle.
Right out of the bottle.
You wash that glass with water. Okay.
That's smart.
Josh Kelsey has dropped 20 and then walks away because that's what Josh does. Thank you, Josh.
Very consistent.
Josh Kelsey. Excellent super chat. Is Trump talking yet, by the way? I know everybody's watching.
He was. I don't know. He still is. Damn, he's still talking. He's been talking for an hour.
You guys.
An hour.
That dude goes.
He's been talking for an hour.
I think Joe Rogan had like 20 words in that 3-hour podcast because it was all Trump just like talking about stuff, like hanging out.
No, Rogan talked a lot. That was a great interview.
That was so we finished up Friday Night Tights. Great show, Friday Night Tights. And Garrett
best show.
Was the best show. It was the best show. Garrett was here and Sean from Think Before You Sleep. And it was all three of us watching Jeremy react to it. It was fucking awesome.
It was great. It was a good time.
We were laughing our asses at Jeremy because like people would come
Jeremy's
in.
So funny.
So Jeremy's reacted to it. And I think he was one of the first people to be reacting to it. Right. And so people were going because it was when the video was still unlisted. And like people were bitching about Jeremy. He's like, stop interrupting. And he'd stop to point out the person to saying stop interrupting. He's all, we're stopping because of you, asshole. Okay. He's all, I'm funny. Retarded. If you want to watch this, the main interview, you can go to the link, but we kept watching Jeremy because it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And then me and Az started super chat arguing, but
yes, there was an argument in the chat. Very gay on gay violence happening.
I mean, it was an argument of just like the levels of Jeremy's homosexuality. Like Az was like, it's not that much. And I'm like, no, it's a lot. But I
mean, it's pretty gay to talk about gayness in chat with
And Dan chimed in as the expert. We had to kind of
you're
the expert,
put him in his place.
Zorbu has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships for $25. By the way, this channel's name is changing very soon.
Oh, snaps.
Very soon, this channel's name is changing.
It's exciting.
Forbidden Frontier. More on that later. Jose Taco for $1. Gary travels halfway around the world to eat spaghetti and pizza. Yes, LOL. Remember when I told you
on it?
I
saw that.
Remember what I told you about how archaeology is teaching in college about the people? Yeah, about people who identify as non-binary. Yeah, it's actually Nick Pope's girlfriend or wife. I can't remember. She's an academic and she's written books about like woke academia. She's like trying to fight it. And at this point, you're better off going in as a fucking amateur researcher, honestly, unless you could really if you could fight the bullshit and just try to sift through the real information that college, because it's 50-50 at this point, I would say, even in archaeology, you'll get some real shit and then you're going to get their propaganda.
Well, look at Luke Caverns. Look, he took the degree and it still has a good strong head on his shoulders, right? It's like he could see logically. He learned how to research, right? He learned how to take in this material and use it properly, and I think that's important. Like he's when I think of like what degrees used to be, that's what Luke went and got. He didn't go and get indoctrinated because he was actually fascinated by the stuff that he was going to school for. So, we need more of that.
Yeah. Tolkien Brown for $9.99 spitting some facts here, and they even Marcia mentioned this. Incas were conquerors, and they were. They absolutely were. They annexed and enslaved many cultures. They did. Incas were like many Romans. I'm Peruvian myself, but hail from the U.S. Yes, you are absolutely correct. And
cool.
Marcia, to her credit, said, yeah, they would gather here to go conquer somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so what's the difference?
Hmm.
And were they there first? Probably not. I think that's one of the biggest questions. This is where academia tries to fight like the whole notion of there being people there first, because there's the indigenous person. Well, what's indigenous? Do we want to get technical about this? Because you're not indigenous if you came through the Bering Strait from Asia.
Right.
You're not. You were here before us, but you're not indigenous. But there were indigenous people. What happened to them? Vapor trails for $4.99. In other news, Tim Pool had a fire half his staff after losing that Russian money. Adam got pulled back into it. Did you get pulled back into it?
No, I did a couple live streams about it.
Yeah.
Except people saying like, no Adam, no peace. You know.
I don't think it's the Russian money.
I got tagged a lot on X for a few days there, and then also I had started like a little support group in DMs because everyone was hitting me up. They were like, "Yeah, I just got fired," and I go, "Oh, really?" And then they vented to me. I was like, "It's cool." Yeah,
I've been there before.
Then they got hired by the quartering.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw him pick up a few of them. That's funny. No, there's a lot of people though. I was kind of surprised.
Really? Was it a lot? I just heard about a couple, but I didn't know about a lot.
I saw there's more than where people know the main characters, but they don't know the background characters that I knew, you know. So
M. Clark 76, a rant for $10. For some reason, I always think the Incas were around longer than just 95 years. And Adam, you forgot to deliver my paper this morning.
Sorry about that.
I want my $2. Adam wants his $2. As soon as he gets it, then he'll deliver your damn paper. Okay.
I want my $2.
Sophie for 2 Sophies. Already a week since Cusco. Time flies. Miss you all. We miss you too.
Miss
Sophie.
you too.
Issue.
Eddie Brock 9043. I know what this question is going to be about. For 249 says, speaking of aliens, thoughts on Venom 3, Gary? Venom 3 is a cocaine fueled fever dream that is not a good movie at all, but it's more fun to watch than the Joker.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
More entertaining.
It's not good. It's not
Joker.
good.
What is it better than the second one?
Yes, in my opinion.
It is better than the second one.
Second one's pretty bad.
Okay.
It's a little.
I love the first one.
I liked the first one. I did.
Yeah. First one was awesome.
It's like
old.
It's like an old school. It's like a 2004 bad superhero movie. Like bad.
Oh,
like,
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's normal bad. It's normal.
Oh, good.
Bad. Give me normal bad all day long.
I like Tom Hardy a lot. I think he's badass. Every character he
like
plays,
his
he's
interpretation of Eddie Brock.
No.
I
don't know Eddie Brock, so to me, that's just he's Eddie Brock. So.
I like Tom Hardy as an actor, though. I think he's a really good actor.
He's great in Peaky Blinders.
Dude, in Taboo, like
Taboo.
The show that should have continued, but he decided to do Venom instead. I wish he would have continued to do Taboo. That's written by the same guy who wrote Peaky Blinders, who just left the Ray Project, by the way, Stephen Knight.
Oh, that sounds like a show I'd like.
It's one season, and I mean, it ends good enough to where like it's thoroughly entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Nice.
It's about the East India Trading Company, and it's got some voodoo in it. It's got all kinds of. He's kind of a pulpish hero.
Yeah.
So
the energy.
Wants to fuck his stepsister, but it's it's mom.
Oh, this looks awesome.
B Chain 315 for $5. While everyone experiences a new food palette, Gary over here ordering the Denny's spaghetti. Nice to have Adam back, and glad everyone had a great time in Peru and at the meetup. Cheers. We had such a good time.
Cheers.
Basil 578 for $10. I'm glad that you guys had an awesome adventure and got home safely. Any more Forbidden Frontier trips planning in stages? Yes, for next year. I gotta I can't stay home. I'm gonna be like doing family stuff and doing stuff for that other channel. What's it called again? Nerdrotic.
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere else in South America or a place in Scandinavia. I'd love to go to Scandinavia.
Ooh.
That's in.
You got a base operations. I'm just
There
saying.
you go. I would love to go to Scandinavia. I want to go there so bad. Malta would be rad.
Yeah.
Malta would be rad. Malta definitely got to do.
Ancient Apocalypse was like, yeah, makes sense. Wild tangent into aliens did it. Seed Fan 85. One thing we could thank Ancient Aliens for is the resurgence in ancient civilizations. So
yes, it wasn't aliens. It was the connection of what people saw when they're on DMT. Yeah. So I don't think it was like aliens per se. I think it was just like, I don't know, a placeholder for what people saw and how there was what people were seeing connects all around the world. There's the same types of figures that what people saw when they're on DMT.
Yep.
So obviously there is a similarity around the planet.
Are they aliens? Are they gods?
What are they? Right,
are
exactly.
They angels? What are they?
Are they clockwork elves? You know, like what?
Machine elves, man.
Machine elves.
Machine elves, you know? Who knows?
Yeah. But the fact that people are seeing something similar is really interesting. I think it's really interesting. Macaque, who we met at the meetup for $5. Garrett, it's awesome when I met him Wednesday. I didn't even say anything, and he recognized me from a year ago. You're one of the good ones. You're one of the good ones.
You're one of the good ones, bro.
It was when he was drunk. So,
and that's even better.
That's it. Yeah, it's like in Beer Fest when they couldn't remember how to get to Beer Fest and they got the guy drunk.
So you had to get drunk.
Remembered. Yeah. Jose Contreras for $1. How was the view of the stars from the high altitude? It must have been beautiful. We didn't get to see it much because it was cloudy.
Yeah, it was cloudy the entire time.
Yeah,
I was sleepy at nighttime.
Yeah.
Jose A. Taka for $1. Fun fact: Thomas Jefferson is often called the first American archaeologist and the father of American archaeology. He did a lot of stuff first.
Cool.
He also banged his slaves. Still a great American though.
Amen.
Teddy here for $5. I highly suggest watching is Genesis History on Prime Video. It really has some interesting evidence and theories to consider. Ooh, I'll check that out.
Ooh,
sure. Yeah. Hell yeah. Seed Fan 85 for $5. Try watching history with Kaylee if you want to come back down from reality. She's an actual archaeologist who can lay out exactly why Graham is barking up the wrong tree. I've seen a lot of Graham debunkers, and there's a problem. There's a lot of stuff they won't cover. That's what he talks about. Mm-hmm. They leave large swaths of his argument. Like, no, I didn't study archaeology, but I've read all his fucking books multiple times. So I can watch that and probably poke holes in her argument because I poked holes in others. You got to talk about Graham never makes anything definitive. He's just here's something.
Here's what I found.
Let's open this.
Look
up.
how it connects to this other thing I found. Isn't that cool?
Isn't that cool? Alexander M for $5. Please give David Roll's Egyptian chronology a look. I sent an email with the video you guys should enjoy. He's worked with Robert Vival, great dude, the guy who proved the Orion connection with Giza, and I met him. Had a nice long talk with him at Contact in the Desert. Total gentleman. Fucking funny as fuck too. Captain Bob Ross, Ara for $2. Jeremy is a fig. Oh wait, this isn't Cobra Cast. So, but when you go back over there, call him a massive fig.
Yeah, let him know,
man. Check Thunderbolt Project and John Hutchinson says Subconscious Pilot for $2.79. Thank you. We will. Thunderstorm for $4.99. Check out Dennis J. Stanford at the Noble Conference 44. It's about the
Solution.
No, it's the solid. It's the
Solution Trian. That's what it looks
hypothesis. But that sounds like. Did you get that? Why was that for me?
I didn't. No, it was for me. I was trying.
Okay, gotcha.
That was for me.
The Solarian hypothesis, which is Sleestacks, basically, and also Doctor Who. Eleni of Hyrule for $2. Welcome home. Tartarian Empire stream when? Well, with the Jimmy's Great Wall video, which was really good. Lots of talk of mud floods back while we were in Peru. Lots of chat about mud floods.
If you haven't already, we did an episode with Andreas, and he talked about it. So if you haven't seen that episode, go back in the annals of our show, and you can go find it. Arteria.
Tartarian. We're gonna get out of here so Adam can go to bed and I can eat. This was tons of fun. I'm so happy to be back.
So good to see you guys.
Back here in the studio.
Back to work. Back to it.
X-Ray's over there like, yeah, eventually.
Not yet. Yes, in the annals
back with
of
the chat.
our show.
Back with the chat. We missed you.
He said anal.
I knew you would. I knew you'd pick it up, but I put down.
Mm-hmm. What do you got coming up, Garrett?
Nothing much. Just normal world this week. We're doing a Halloween special on Halloween night. So if you're hanging out, you're handing out candy, tune in, hang out. It's gonna be fun. We got a lot of sketches. Got a bunch. We've been banking sketches for this thing. So wait up. Wait up.
Craig Long, 99.99.
The crowd went wild.
Just drops
Thanks,
it on the way out. Thank you, Craig. What's up, brother?
Wow. Huge.
9999. 9. I'm gonna be passing out candy. We're gonna be like the old couple.
I can't wait to do
our
that.
Costumes passing out.
Me too.
I
I can't wait.
I can't wait to do that.
I can't wait.
Just to let everybody know, I will be wearing my Captain African American costume one more time.
Full
I love that.
That
Good.
wig is
headdress
wild.
as well. Hope so.
The dress?
The headdress. The
Oh.
the afro.
Wig.
I was like, I can put on a dress if you'd like me to.
Oh my god.
That's okay.
No, it's cool. It's all good. If you are doing a Tartaria, Lore Lodge has 2 good videos on it. I will check it out.
Does as well. Go watch Lore Lodge. That's a great channel.
Lore Lodge is awesome.
Mhm.
What do you got coming up, Adam?
Just plugging along, doing my show. I've got new. I've stolen mics from my wife because I'm recording some stuff. I'm finally doing an album, so that's the thing. I'm starting with one song first. I'm just like starting. I don't want to like. I don't know. I've been just my life for the past 2 months has been like a blur. So I'm just trucking along, doing my show and trying to keep some semblance of routine. And it's kind of difficult, but I'm moving along. Check out my show. It's right there, the Crigler Show. Rumble, YouTube, X. That's where I do it. Will the song be about chickens? No, it won't. But thanks for asking.
It won't be about chickens. That's so disappointing. I was hoping it would be.
Yeah.
Maybe Zorbu.
Maybe Zorbu.
Yes, I did say Captain African American.
Should check out FNT if you haven't yet. That last one.
Yeah.
You see it.
At least somebody put some effort in. Just told on yourself, Garrett. I wasn't even talking about you.
I put in effort, okay. I just didn't get my
I love it when
hairdress.
people
It's probably here.
telling themselves. Did you give back my wife her wig back?
I
or
did.
you
I
take-
did
you
give her
Okay.
the.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
She was sleeping, and I'm like, I need this.
Right off her head.
What the fuck? Yeah, I know. What the fuck? What do you got coming up, X-Ray Girl?
I am going to be here at Gary's house doing stuff. Streams, don't know. But I do have a Streamlabs from Zorbu for $20. Says Zorbu's crew voted today in your so-called New Jersey. No questions asked. We also got a free line of credit from tax-paying Earthlings. Gonna upgrade the UFO with that Blaupunkt sound system.
Yeah, Blaupunkt. Oh, good. Drops the Blaupunkt.
I'm like, I've never heard.
Nobody
of that.
knows what that means. Okay, if you're my age, everybody wanted the Blaupunkt cassette player, like stereo system with the subwoofer. And back in my day, people would take out their back seat and put in a giant fucking woofer. I had one in my 85 Toyota pickup. It was a box this fucking big in the bed of my truck, and man, did that thing kick.
Wow. So Zorbu aging himself. He's
He
also
is.
1,000 years old.
Blaupunkt, bro.
Yeah.
I haven't heard
But we'll
that
see.
in a long time.
I might do a Rivendell Lego stream if we can
That's
find
right.
it.
You haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
We gotta get that thing built.
Is that
Oh.
is that at my storage? We got to go to my storage and get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's make it happen. Let's do Rivendell.
Yes.
Let's do
Let's
it.
go.
It's a good build.
Yes. And tomorrow, Nerdrotic Nooner.
On Rumble, we got to pick up some of those Rumble rants from Friday Night Tights and talk about other stuff. Plus, I got a video to work on. So, video to work on. Some interesting stuff happening. Yeah. We're gonna go out to Mexican food. X-Ray Girl, did you know that?
No.
No, we're going right after the show.
I'm so
Going to
excited.
Get some Mexican food.
Oh.
Damn it. I need some real food. All right. Hey, we'll be back next week. We'll be back next week with Andrew Collins of Megalithomania. You've seen him on Ancient Aliens. He and Hugh Newman were pioneers for Göbekli Tepe. They're the ones who did that, got the work, got to know the people in the villages, given access to stuff that, like, before archaeologists. He just came out with a book. I'll have it done by the time he gets on. I'll be finished with it.
I was actually shocked by some of the stuff that I read.
Yo,
I didn't know back in 2004. That's when he started going to these places.
Yeah, they've been going for 20 years. They've been going to this place for 20 years. These guys are, like, again, pioneers for this site. I mean, you know, Klaus Schmidt was there first, but these are like the first real. I don't want to call not amateur, but like not academic archaeologists. They look at the world differently, and alternate researchers. We'll say alternate researchers, and they got to know the townspeople, and they got access to stuff before anybody did. So it's surreal to be able to, like, these are my rock stars. So I get to talk to Andrew Collins and Hugh Newman, and fucking, it's like, holy shit. Someday we'll get Richard Dolan on here.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
The Thunderbolt project suggests the nubs are for electronic discharge that builds up from the quartz crystal that the stone is made of. John Hutchinson showed how to levitate, fuse objects together, and make objects invisible. Subconscious pilot.
Interesting.
That's fucking awesome. This is why we do this show.
Interesting.
Thank you, subconscious pilot.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you. Graham Hancock has been doing his podcast rounds. I feel like he's done all the podcasts, and I feel like we should be able to get Graham.
You think so?
I think we can. Chat, put it out in the air that Graham.
Yeah, if people put it out,
to be on our show.
What keeps us out of the loop for the most part is we don't have agents, right? We don't have agents. We don't have agencies, and I will not. I'm very happy with X-Ray Girl and with what you guys do, and so yeah, we'll just keep putting the word out, and hopefully you come.
We may not have an agency, but we do have an X-Ray Girl, and she will go out and get interviews.
Oh, if Graham comes on, if Graham comes, yeah, there you go. With the low cut, if Graham's on, then we're on the main channel with Graham.
Oh yeah,
we're on the main channel.
Hell yeah,
like maximum exposure. So yeah, if he's willing to do it, and he doesn't even have to come here. He can do it from his hotel room or his house.
It's true. Yeah. Well, I did it remote with Midnight's Edge.
Yeah, he did. And by the way, if you want to see Graham interviewed, Michael Collins just dropped a video 3 days ago. Go check out Wandering Wolf. Go check out Michael Collins' interview with Graham Hancock. And he even got mentioned on Joe Rogan. That
was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. All right. Thanks to all the super chats and donations. Thank you to all the Modrotics out there. Splitting your time between me and D-Day Cobra. Appreciate it. Smoo, it was great seeing you. You're welcome back anytime. Love you, man. And we will be back next week. Ciao, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.
Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.